Are you someone who enjoys learning about local history or maybe just getting out and enjoying nature? I know one of Lubbock's hidden gems that may be perfect for you. Stick around and I'll give you all the details. Hey there, I'm Jayci, a realtor here in Lubbock, Texas, and I'm talking about all things about Lubbock, the surrounding area, and real estate. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into the Lubbock Lake Landmark, and I call it a hidden gem because a lot of people either don't know about it or don't talk about it. I don't know how many years I lived here before I even heard about it, and then it was several more years later before we went out there and enjoyed it. It honestly wasn't until my oldest was 3 that we went out there, and we had gone out there because they were doing their Growing Up Wild Saturdays, which is a fun little activity that they do every other Saturday, usually starting in the springtime for 3 and 4 year olds. It's themed activities for those little ones. Usually it starts out with some coloring pages and then activity and then story time and then a nature walk. And like I said, it's all themed. Like the one day we were doing camouflage. Um, so we did some color pages. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was an animal being camouflaged by its surroundings. Of course, if your child colored like that, I think mine ended up coloring it purple and blue because those are her favorites. Um, but then the activity was some bandanas that were different colors and then little plastic animals that the kids got to match to each color to help them camouflage, which was really cute, really fun. And then the advisor did a story time talking about how different animals survived with their camouflage in different environments. And then we went out on a nature walk and kind of discussed the camouflage things we walked. Of course, it's 3 and 4 year olds, so a lot of the talking was kind of lost on them, and they were just enjoying walking on the boardwalk, which was still lots of fun. And then after a couple times we went out there, my husband finally came in and we were able to enjoy the museum part of it. Um, but there's lots to offer out there. And the Lubbock Lake Landmark is an archaeological site and a natural history preserve. It is um, there in the Yellow House Draw, which is an ancient valley near some ancient springs, which for thousands of years was the water source for the Southern High Plains. And so that's really cool. And they have been able to find 12,000-year-old archaeological finds, which I think is awesome. So it covers everything from the Clovis era to the Folsom era to the Prehistoric era. And one of the sites has a bison kill that was discovered, and um, from the charred bones that were found, it was the first ever radiocarbon data that was processed for the Paleo Indian area in this area, which is about 9,000, I think 9,800 years old, which I think is really cool. It's also a field laboratory for geology, soils, and different radiocarbon studies, which is really cool. So there's still an active dig site, and every year in the summertime they do have volunteer opportunities if you want to go out there and volunteer to be part of the archaeological dig site, which I think is really cool because every year they're still finding different material to process and look at. And in 2023, they celebrated their 50th year as an archaeological dig site, which I think is so cool. It is a offset of the Texas Tech Museum. It's looped in with them, but they do the excavations to this day annually. So it's a really great place to learn about the local history, the like prehistoric history, which is really, really neat. It's also a really great place if you just enjoy nature, because as the nature preserve, there is tons of different plant and animal life out there. In the one room where we were having the growing up wild, I thought it was really neat. They had those really big, they weren't poster boards, but the big papers, and it had different animals written on it, and they had tally marks for how many had been seen by different visitors there, which I thought was really neat because there was a wide range of different animals, lots of birds, prairie dogs, of course, foxes, and it was just a really neat thing to see because there was so much different life out there. So if you're someone that just enjoys getting out there and enjoying nature and seeing the different wildlife and the different plant life, I would definitely go check it out. If you're someone who likes going out and walking in nature, running in nature, cycling, a little bit of hiking, they have several different trails that you can go check out and do all of those things, which is really, really nice. Several times when we were out there, we saw different people walking or running or cycling. Um, I personally haven't been on the hiking trails, but I hear that they're really nice. And they even, in the summertime, in the warmer months, they put on night hikes. And that's where you can go out there and enjoy the trails, either toured or guided or not guided, and get a break from that Texas heat and still enjoy that time in nature, especially with the longer days. It's really, really nice. Um, and the boardwalk that I was talking about that we were walking is just a shorter trail that is um, planked, where you can walk on if you have a little bit of trouble walking on the gravel dirt trails and stuff like that. Um, the the museum and everything is wheelchair accessible, so anyone can go in there and enjoy the indoor and outdoor facilities. The museum's really nice, because the exhibit that you can go in and see the different items that they have dug up and cleaned up and preserved. You can see those on display with different information about them. And then you can walk through, and it's kind of like a timeline, which is nice. So you can see the different events that they've found and see how it kind of all lays out and how different the life was then. And see kind of how it all played out, which is really neat. Even uh, bison kill displays out there, which is kind of neat to learn about. And then one of the other things that I really enjoy out there is they have some huge, huge statues of different animals that have been found in this area. Um, so I didn't know that there was bears in this area ever, but there was some prehistoric bears in the area. And shockingly, they are quite different than the bears that you think of nowadays because they had like really long legs and a fairly slender body, kind of cat like almost. And they were massive, like huge. And I thought that was really neat. And to put on a scale, like my 3-year old was able to walk through its legs without hitting her head on the belly. It was massive. So that's really neat to see. Um, I've also found pieces of mammoth. So there's mammoth statues out there. Huge bison. Like the bison today are big, but the bison from back then, massive. And then even armadillos, which I know we have armadillos, but the armadillos back then were huge. I think the statue that's out there is like 2 feet tall. It is huge compared to, or it's probably bigger than 2 feet tall, but it's like 10 times what the size of the armadillos are now. And so it's kind of neat to see the changes as animals have evolved, has how the environment has evolved, what has gone away, what has adapted and changed. And so that's really neat to go check out. Um, it's a really neat place to go and see whether you want to learn about the history or just enjoy your time in nature or see something new. Whether you have kids, don't have kids, whether you want to go out there with friends, it's really nice. Um, they are um, free of charge, so that's cool. They do take donations, and um, I think that's a really nice thing that they don't make you pay, but you do have the opportunity to support them with donations. If you enjoy the place, you can donate as you walk out the door. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and then on Sundays, 1 to 5. They are closed on Mondays, and they're usually closed on holidays as well. especially since they're part of Texas Tech, and it's 336 acres, and it's really beautiful out there. And I definitely suggest you go out there and check it out. Um, it is on the north side of town, and like I said, it's 12,000 years of occupation here on the South Plains that they have been learning about. And go out there and enjoy it. If you have already been out there, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. If you haven't, let me know once you do go out there and see it. Let me know what you think. And if there is a different place that you want me to go check out, please let me know in the comments. If there's a different kind of video you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, because I want this channel to be something that helps you and gives you something to go out there and see and learn about. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all the information that I'm sharing about Lubbock, the surrounding area, and things about real estate, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date. And I will catch y'all next time.